obviously big announcement this morning.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming on here today. We have um, some big changes we need to roll out. First of all, I hope you're all enjoying the snow again and all that has brought with it. But I need to talk about our booster clinics that we have had going at JBS and at West. The first thing I need to say is unbelievable the turnout we've had. We are so far ahead of what we had anticipated with our boosters. As of last night, we had given out over 4,500 boosters in 3 days. That is a pace that has just been incredible. Everybody that we've spoken to there has been very patient, has been very kind, and has been very appreciative of the second dose booster, and it has moved so well. I can't say thank you enough to our staff, to our volunteers, to the people that we've had working in those clinics. 4,500 doses, over 4,500 doses in 3 days has made great progress and has just been, again, unbelievable that we've been able to roll that many out. Um, it's just gone as smooth as it could go, even with ice in the parking lot, snow, sub-zero temperatures. It has turned out extremely well with that. That's the good news, that it's gone well. So here's this change that we've had experienced in the last 24 hours. As you all know, we can control just about everything but the weather and everything but the federal government. And so with that being said, we canceled our clinic this morning because the shipment of doses that we are all expecting, every hospital in the state, they did not arrive. They did not show up. And so we had given out the vaccines that we had allotted for the appointments. And so we waited and waited and waited to make sure that the trucks wouldn't show up in the middle of the night because we didn't want to cancel and then have to uncancel. But we made the decision this morning to cancel this clinic today because simply we are out of doses. I know there are some folks around us that are lagging behind. They weren't able to move as quickly as we were, and they have doses. But I need to stress to people listening today, do not go anywhere else for your second dose. Don't run over to Midland. They have an allotted amount. They have a schedule that they are not moving as fast as we are. And so they have some left, but those are committed. So do not attempt to call Midland Memorial and drive our friends over there crazy. Don't do that because their doses are set. And so they have those set, and there's no need to waste your time calling over there because their doses are already spoken for. So do not do that. As far as our clinics here in Odessa at West County and at JBS, so today it's canceled. Now here comes the big news, so get ready for this. The big news is with that, we know we've put y'all through a lot, making these phone calls, making appointments, and trying to get everybody online. I know some of y'all have called 300, 400, 500 times to get an appointment, and you've got one. If you have an appointment right now, and you're expecting to go Friday, you're expecting to go Saturday, you're expecting to go Sunday, you need to consider your appointment. If you have not already had it, from now on, you need to consider that appointment canceled because we have 5, 6, 7,000 appointments booked, and there is no way I'm going to put this community back into calling that number to reschedule. I'm not going to do that to you. We can't do that. We can't expect you to sit on the phone and do that. So you need to consider that appointment canceled. So now the next question is, how do I get my booster? How do I get my second shot? How does that happen? We have been on the phone this morning with Ector County Independent School District. They have graciously given us another week at Ratliff Stadium. And so we are going to roll the booster shots out March 2nd through March the 5th. So that's going to be a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We are going to do a second booster only clinic those days. So March 2nd, March 3rd, March 4th, and March 5th, we have about 9,000 shots to give out. We're anticipating that to give those out on those weeks. Now I say anticipating. Why did I say that? Because we do not have those shots in hand. Those are all frozen in somewhere, waiting for the world to thaw out to be able to have those delivered to Ector County and to Odessa. But we are very thankful to the school. We've been on the phone with Rod Huber in the city, and we are going to work a second dose drive-through clinic where you do not need an appointment. You do not need to get out of your car. You do not need to do anything but bring your white card with you and come through March 2nd through March 5th. And we are going to try to roll out 9,000 shots that week. We can do that. We know we can do it and get everybody caught up. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of questions about, well, that's outside of my window. Well, that's outside of the time it says on my card. We realize that, but the CDC does give you leeway to do this longer if there are circumstances out of your control. And definitely the weather and Snowmageddon, here comes some information, is out of our control. So you can see there, we're giving out Pfizer. Pfizer, you've got 3 to 6 weeks after you get your first dose. So this is going to bump that into those 3 to 6 weeks, but you will be okay. If you're a couple days out of your window, you will be fine. If you're 3 weeks out of your window, you're going to be fine. But the good news is we're going to simplify our process, and we are going to make it easy for you to come to Ratliff Stadium over those days. It's a period of days to get your second dose. So there's no need to wait 5 hours in traffic. There's no need to wait to get there at 1 o'clock in the morning. We are going to be open that whole week out there, and we're going to go late several days to make sure that we get our second dose to everybody who got the first dose. So let me recap a little bit. If you have an appointment from today on, you need to consider those appointments canceled. The 640-2747, as soon as this conference is over, we are going to turn that number off because we don't want anybody waiting, thinking that they have to call to reschedule their appointment. We are going to move those to Ratliff Stadium March 2nd through March 5th. That whole week, we're going to do that. And so we have a good system. Y'all know how well our system moves at Ratliff Stadium. We have no heartburn thinking that we cannot move those out without an appointment, without having to call. You can show up in your car. You don't have to get out of your car, and we will be able to move you through those very quickly. But we know this is going to cause a lot of questions. We know it's going to cause a lot of concern. The first thing we need everybody to understand is you're going to be okay going a few days, and the CDC says up to 6 weeks out of that window. We will get you through that line March 2nd through March 5th. Again, this is totally out of our control with the weather. I apologize to everybody that sat online, that called and called and called. We are very sorry that this has happened, but this is so far out of our control. Instead of creating chaos with trying to have everybody call back in for us to call and reschedule, my decision was to cancel those appointments and run everybody through a Ratliff Stadium second dose clinic. I apologize for any inconvenience this may cause you, for any stress it may cause you, but in the interest of what we think is best and trying to work around this crazy weather we're having, our decision is that we're going to go to Ratliff 3-2 March 2nd through March 5th and do a drive-through mass vaccination clinic.
And Russell, the times for that, people are asking, that will be from 9 to 5 each one of those days, correct?
That will be 9 to 5. That is correct. We're going to try to work some late days in there for people who can't get off. We're going to work that. So stay tuned for more information on that. But it will start at 9 and go through at least the that time in the evening, but be flexible with this because we're going to try to work you all in. Now what this is going to do, we're going to need some more volunteers. So be on the lookout for that because we are adding a week to this schedule. And so we're going to need another week worth of volunteers. But I can tell you what we pulled off at the West Clinic and at the JBS Clinic is remarkable what happened there in 3 days. 4,500 in 3 days was a huge number. And that is a very big, successful number. And thank you for those who came out. But having to do what we did today with canceling and rescheduling those for the 2nd through the 5th is something that we've been pressing through all night. We've been working with the city and with the police and with the fire department. Definitely our thanks to the school district because they are working very well with us to give us another week out there at Ratliff Stadium. That is a huge thank you to them for being flexible with us. And a huge thank you to our people in Ector County and the surrounding areas that we gave them your first shot. Thank you for understanding that the weather is something we cannot control, that the shipment being froze in Kentucky or being held up in Dallas is out of our control. We have talked to people who have volunteered to drive to go get it for us. We've had people offer to fly to go get that for us. And our number one concern is safety first. And so we feel like this is the safest way to handle the booster. I'm only talking about your second shot right now. All we're talking about is all of you out there. We know how many there are. We know that we can get you in there and get it done. We attempted to do it different. The weather has stopped that from happening. That is just something we can't control. What we can control is finding a new way to do it, a more efficient way to do it. And that's what we're going to do at Ratliff Stadium, March 2nd through March 5th. So again, if you have an appointment today, tomorrow, from now on, you need to consider those appointments you said on the phone for. I'm sorry, you need to consider that appointment canceled and that you need to come to Ratliff Stadium that first week of March. And so I've said a lot. I'm trying not to talk too fast. I'm trying to just be very factual on this. Again, please do not go to Midland. Do not call Midland to try to get your second dose. They cannot help you. They are committed already over there. They have their doses spoken for, just like we have our doses spoken for. Please do not blow them up because they cannot do that for you. You just need to sit tight, be ready to go on the 2nd through the 5th. We have plenty of days. We'll have shots out there. We'll have volunteers out there, and we will run that system efficiently, just like we've done, and we will move those through. But again, the weather has moved this out of our control, and we're trying to do what's best for everybody. We know it's inconvenient, but at the same time, when you're dealing with this large number of people, we're trying to do what's best. And Trevor, that is a big announcement, and I'm ready to take any questions if you want to go through those so we can try to get those answered and get some good information out there.
Perfect. Awesome. Let's go ahead and get started with questions. Kristen, did you have anything you want to add?
I do not. He's covered everything.
Perfect. Awesome. Let's go to the questions. And first one I see is Miss Rachel Ripp from News West 9. Go ahead.
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. With the shipment from the state that did not arrive, about how many doses are going to be in that shipment?
4,000. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
4,680 is in each shipment.
So
Okay.
the problem right now, Rachel, is we're talking multiple shipments now coming in at one time because you have a week right now that's delayed. We're going to have our upcoming week and then the week of March 2nd. So you start multiplying that 4,000 number by 2 or 3. That's why we think we can knock them all out at Ratliff in 1 week because we'll have enough with multiple shipments to be able to knock that out.
And so how many shipments are you expecting then for next week? Are you expecting the boosters and the first round shipments?
Yes, ma'am. And so right now, what we're talking about is there's a shipment out there for this week we're currently in, for the next week we're going to, and then the week of March 2nd. So you're dealing with 3 shipments coming in a very short period of time.
And Rachel, each shipment has the first shots, and then each shipment will have the booster shots as well. So it's like 3 shipments for the next 3 weeks, but each one of those shipments has boosters and each one has the first shots.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Anything else, Rachel? All right, I guess not. Let's go to Mr. Danny Barrera. Go ahead, Danny.
Yes, do you have the space to store those 3 shipments?
We have more than enough space. We're well prepared for that. We've got it. We've actually measured it out to make sure it'll actually fit, and we're way good on that. So we've got enough space. That's not a problem.
So the people that haven't gotten the first round, the first shot, can they go in March to get it, or is it strictly just second doses?
Yeah, we're going to talk about first dose at 3 o'clock. But what's going to happen in March at Rattler Stadium in March will only be second shot, only. So
Right.
we will have a plan for first dose, but we'll talk about that at 3 at the regular presser. But for right now, in March is only going to be second dose.
Right. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Danny. Up next, I see Mr. Mitch Borden, Marfa Public Radio. Go ahead, Mitch.
Hey, Russell, I guess, I know you're announcing this here and on Facebook, and we'll distribute this out to our listeners and viewers, but are you guys going to be calling people who had appointments to tell them that they're canceled, or set up a message on the hotline to let people know?
Yeah, we did start making calls this morning to try to address the people today, because I know we had some people that were from Monahans, we had some from Crane. We didn't want them to come over, especially in the weather, and then us be closed for the shot. So we have made some calls. We will get some announcements out there, whether that's on the hotline number or on the web, social media, everywhere. We will push that out everywhere, but we wanted to start it here because we know you guys in the media can help us move this faster by going through y'all. So, but we will get that in multiple places.
And I know we're going to talk about the first dose later today, but I guess, with these delays, will this affect, Sunday's clinic and next week's first dose clinics at all?
It is very possible that Sunday's clinic will be affected on first dose. I'm not ready to say that that's going to happen yet because I'm waiting on a confirmation, but I will have that ready at 3 o'clock. We will have a decision on Sunday by 3 o'clock.
Perfect. Those are all my questions. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Mitch. Up next, let's see. I just want to get to a question real quick before we go to the next media. There will be no online, no registration for the booster shot. You will just need to bring your vaccination card, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. Perfect. Let's go to the next one in Mr. Federico Martinez, Odessa American. Go ahead, Federico.
Good morning. Just to clarify something here, the booster shots for this week through Sunday are canceled, correct?
I think the correct answer is the booster shots at our clinics are canceled from now on. It's not just
That's what I wanted to make sure. Yes.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, and then everyone's asked the questions I was going to ask about the stadium, and you mentioned you'll address the other questions at 3 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
So I won't take up any more of your time. But thank you so much I know your things are changing by the second for you all. So I appreciate everything you guys are doing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Another quick question is we know that many people, there will be the West Texas relays there that week, that Thursday and Friday. So just thanks to ECISD again for working with us, and we're going to have a flow in place, and we'll be on each side of the stadium. So There might be a little different flow for the observation period, but there will be directions and stuff out there. So just to recap, I just want to recap you, Russell, before I give it to you for final word is appointments at our clinics for booster shots are now canceled from here on out due to lack of vaccines because of the weather. The state has not been able to ship them to us. We will be doing booster shot clinic at Ratliff Stadium March 2nd through March 5th from 9 to 5 for anybody who's already received that shot at Ratliff. So we've done about 4,500 boosters. We've got about 9,500 or left to give. It is okay. Even if you're just a few days outside of your range, as you can see from Pfizer, from the Texas Department of State Health, 3 to 6 weeks after your first dose, everyone will be fine. Do not try to call that 2747 number. We will be turning that off afterward here. Do not try to call Midland as their allotments they have are spoken for. But we will get everybody their booster shot there March 2nd through March 5th, and more information on the first dose Ratliff to come later today at 3 o'clock. Did I miss anything?
No, let me just say, our board of directors, we visited with them. They're fully aware of this. They know that this is not an easy decision for us. We realize there will be some heartburn for this, but we just want to communicate effectively that again, the weather is something this entire state is dealing with. The power issue is another issue everybody's dealing with. So that's factored in there as well. But at the same time, we're trying to make just good decisions and make it easy since this weather has thrown us this curveball, to make it easy on our folks to get this second booster. And we think this is the most efficient way, since we're opening this up, to knock this out. Trevor, I've got CBS 7 on my screen. Did we go through them already?
Yeah, Scott hopped off. He was getting ready for the show, but I'll see. William, did you have any questions you wanted to ask? Nope. Okay. I think we're good.
All right.
Hey, Trevor, I have one quick question. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Russell. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
Since clinics are going to be canceled from here on out, what's the plan after the additional week at Ratliff? Is there one yet, or will you go back to the old system?
Yeah, our plan was that we are working with Odessa Regional in their partnership with them to help us with this. And so we will be ready to roll out some good information on that probably at 3 o'clock today and going forward. So I think that if we can just hold that until we get to the 3 o'clock hour, because that's going to give us some more time to get some things straightened out.
Perfect. Sorry about that, and thanks.
No problem.
All right. I think that's everything. We'll be back for our normal presser at 3 o'clock. We'll update, obviously, our COVID numbers and then first shots at Ratliff Stadium. So just thanks for everybody for joining in, and we will be getting this information posted here today. So if you missed and don't want to watch through the whole presser, we'll have that kind of listed out for you so you understand what's going on. Thank you, everyone.
Thank y'all very much.